So I did register with Edinburgh University, and I was studying there as a non-graduating student. The British have this system of you doing something at a university without being a student there. Mm-hmm. You can be a non-graduating student. So I was a non-graduating student for a year, doing my research for the PhD, which I wanted to do. My PhD thesis was on culture, on African culture, on my culture.
Yes.
My culture as an African. So I couldn't do it in Britain because the supervisors would not be found there. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to come here. And actually my time was up for me to come back. So we finally left UK for Zimbabwe. And I was sent to Sandringham.
And this was now in 1988?
1988. Okay. We came in December 1988. Okay. Yes. So we were stationed at Sandringham, which is a few kilometers from here. Mm-hmm. And I was in charge of the church here in Norton. Was the Methodist Church in Norton.
So back then, how was the circuit like here? Norton covered Sandringham?
Yes.
Ah, okay. It was a big circuit.
Very huge. Yes. So I was there for 3 years. Sorry, it's 3 years. Yes, 3 years. Yes. And after 3 years, I went to UTC now. Now as a lecturer.
Not as a student.
Not as a student.
It's now full circle.
Yeah, it's a full circle. Now I'm a lecturer. And when I arrived, I actually became the vice principal there.
Oh, that's early 90s.
Yes, that's 91.
91.
Mm-hmm, 91. So I was at United Theological College and trained most of our ministers have come through my hands, as it were. So we taught each other there. Those who have been bishops, the last 5 bishops, I trained them.
They're your students?
They're my students.
Wow.
I'm sure for the coming years before I die, there will be my students being bishops.
There are many more to come.
Yeah.
Even if after.
Yes, they will be there. They are there. They are still there. And I enjoy that, having stayed at that college for almost close to 30 years. I've been in and out from the college from 91 up to 2020. I was involved in UTC in one way or another.
Yes.
Lecturing there. So when I came back, I started enrolling for the PhD. And my topic was death and the mourning among the Zulu. And here's the book, Death and Mourning Among the Zulu. I think this is a wrong spelling. This was the dummy. The next one.
Dummy copy.
Yeah, dummy copy, yes. This is the book, Death and Mourning Among the Zulu. I'm Zulu myself. And the research was that I had to be hands-on. I was doing some research on the Zulu people. how they die, when they die, where they die, and the ceremonies they do after dying.
It's an interesting topic.
Initially, I was afraid of studying it because I was thinking once I study this, then I will die.
That's what we are meant to believe.
So I was struggling with that death and mourning among the Zulu. And why should I start death and mourning? But there were two things. When my mother passed on, unfortunately, my mother did not see my pastoral work or did not see me as a pastor. But she died in 1981 when I was in my last year at a college. I remember I said she prayed for me.
Yes.
But then she died before I became a fully fledged minister. So may her soul rest in peace. Yeah, but I'm sure she's very happy where she is. She's very happy because even when I went to UK, she visited me. You may wonder, how did she visit me after she had died? She visited me in a dream. She came to me. She would come with messages. Yes. And we enjoyed that, sharing the message with my wife. My wife's mother came also to UK. We brought her, and she came for 3 months, so 3 weeks, and she enjoyed being there. And now we are settled here. We are in UTC lecturing after those 6 years we were in college, full time. And we trained so many ministers, and most of them were single. They were not yet married. They married after they trained, and we had a nice time there. And after that, after 6 years in college, I was moved. I was changed. Where did they send me? Back to Sandringham. So I did negotiate, but the negotiations were not successful. They had to send me back. So I was back at Sandringham for 3 more years. And I enjoyed it, and I found a home in Sandringham and settled there. And after 3 years, then I went back to Harare. Then I went to Highfield as a second minister. I was superintendent for Highfield. Meanwhile, I'm studying for PhD. And it was through research, mostly. And I had to be hands-on, like going for researching in the rural areas of Mondoro and my home area. And Mondoro is the Zulu land, and my home area is the Zulu land. So I was studying these Zulu people. In that, I went to their funerals, which is my job, and to their ceremonies. And the ceremonies are Kurwa Makuwa, now we call that tombstone unveiling. In Shona, we had to do 2 ceremonies. Nyaradzo, yatakuti nyaradzo mazuvanei. Then kare kako it was ndonga mabwe.
Okay.
Kind of
okay. Didn't you weren't you tempted? It's a temptation. We're tempted to do the religious ATR religion. Yet you represent the Christian world. How do you take it? Like, how would you balance the two? And you can actually comment also on how do most ministers balance the two, those two things. It's okay.
It's a bit tricky, but I did it. As for my research here in Mondoro, I would start with sorry. Rimusangano. Okufonerai. Here in Mondoro, that's my duty, that's my job. I go and bury people. And I will be very observant, observing what they are doing, what they are not doing. And each funeral is different. As you know, we don't have anything written down in Shona for the Shona people. Each family is different ways of doing things. Even if you have your hymn book where you take your order of service, but there are some things which are different for each funeral. So those are the things which I was looking at. And then which means it's literally you go and beat the grave or whatever. Literally, but it's, in a sense, that's what you'll be doing, which we have now transformed. It has changed tremendously into Nyaradzo and tombstone unveiling. Nyaradzo, tombstone unveiling appear to be Christian, but they came from our traditional practices, whereby when one has died after 3 weeks or a month, there is this ceremony which is done. Beer is used. The leftovers at the funeral are used to cook the beer, and then people are invited. On the day in which you bury someone, you bring your shovels and picks and whatever. But after the funeral, you are not allowed to take them back, because these things are believed to be affected by death. They have the power of death. So we leave them at that place. And then after this beer, now called Nyaradzo, you drink the beer, and then you symbolically wash one of the shovels or the picks or the badza, and you are literally taking away, as it were, the power of death.
Washing it off.
Yeah, washing it off. And then after a year, you do that skroagua, which is now tombstone unveiling.
1 year.
And our people want to do their things during the presence of their minister. Unless the things are bad, they can do them outside the knowledge of their ministers. And those are the things which we, the people and the minister perhaps don't come together and discuss. Because we are saying these are not done. You mustn't do these things. And yet, initially, we had not provided for them for an alternative. But now, the alternative is there. There is Nyaradzo and unveiling of tombstone. So we are now safe there. But initially, it wasn't as safe as that.
Okay, from your own perspective, not the church's position, like, is there anything wrong in maybe as a Christian doing our Shona culture? As you studied it, from the way you studied it, was there any demonic or whatever, or it's just I don't know how to put it across. It's just people saying, this is demonic, but at the same time, from the way you studied it, maybe there is nothing wrong with those things.
You say it rightly. There is completely nothing wrong, but the notions that were taught us, the things that were taught was like, anything that is African is bad. Anything that is European is what? Is good. And that was the mistake. So I was really digging deep into these things, wanting to know why we do certain things the way we do them. And like I said, initially, when my mother died, the church just literally took over the funeral, and we were guests ourselves.
At your own mother's funeral?
Yeah. And they didn't, the church does not understand, or does not understand Africans as it were, because they would want to be like dictating things and telling how people should do their...
calling the shots.
Yes. And that is the difference only between African practices and Christian practices. In actual fact, when you bury someone, you can't say this is a Christian funeral, this is a non-Christian funeral. The difference may be you have prayed or there are Christians there. But what should be done should help the people who are bereaved, isn't it? Yeah. So, in my thesis at the end of the day was trying to demystify some of the things which we kind of mystify ourselves. Like, this is wrong, this is good. And my research has come to the understanding that we really have to do what makes us feel comfortable. Yeah. What brings comfort to each and every African family, and not trying to bulldoze and making your practices their own practices, but trying to adjust. And there I'm very happy. The church has managed to squeeze around and accommodate these practices in such a way that Now you have the choice. You can actually go full-blown Kuroaguva and do it perfectly there. Or you can go out and do tombstone unveiling and do it perfectly. And it's the same thing. What you aim at through Kuroaguva, what you aim at through tombstone unveiling, is you aim at consoling yourself and making yourself comfortable and convincing yourself that you have done the proper thing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Because you see, there are families which are very traditional, which would ask for Kuroaguva. Let them Kuroaguva in their own way, isn't it? But there are now families who are going for tombstone unveiling. And they are doing the same thing, but in a different what? Different way.
Okay, so because the majority of the churches these days, they speak very boldly and against Kuroaguva, saying that it is demonic. I understand the process of Kuroaguva is bringing the spirit of the deceased one into the family home. Right, that's Kuroaguva. Right, so most churches nowadays, they speak out against that, saying that, no, once you are dead, you are dead. You do not have anything to do with the living. Or else, you are evil spirits out there, loitering spirits that you are just bringing into your family home, that really have nothing to do with your family.
There is some truth in that. You are right. But I said, my mother visited me when she had died. How did she visit me? She visited me in a dream. Yes, she came back and she was very happy. And I was also happy. And it was a joy to meet her in that dream. So there is a sense in which
whether you celebrate, you do the ceremony or not, they might come back on their own.
Yes, it's like the transfiguration story. You know, when Jesus took his beloved disciples and went to the mountain. And in that mountain, what picture comes to the disciples? Moses.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
These are the figures that come in that transfiguration period. And the disciples said, let's make boats for these people. And Jesus said, no, that's not our business. It's God who brings these people to us back without even me asking for it. I didn't ask my mother to come and visit me, but she visited me, isn't it?
Yes.
So when it's God's will that people come and visit you, they will come. And you don't have any effort to put to stop them. And that's none of my business. It's a dream's business. So, yes, I'm glad that the church is going somewhere, and it has gone already very further. It has gone ahead and changed the things, because initially the pastors wouldn't come to a Kuroaguva ceremony, but they come to tombstone unveiling. They come to Nyaradzo. They wouldn't come to ceremony of cleansing the shovels, and they wouldn't come to that kind of a thing. So yes, there are some things which have changed, And I'm glad and I'm happy that I did my research. So another funeral was my father's funeral. The church again came and took over as usual. And this is why I did this research, to study and see how and what can be done to help the situation. And the church has done a lot. And as you know, in next year, they will be celebrating 50 years of autonomy, which means we are changing. We have changed things. And we are making that Christianity our own. And we are looking at it with our own eyes. Even though we are not yet there, 100%.
It's a work in progress.
Yes, it's a work in progress. At least we have started. And we are moving towards that goal of changing things.
Okay.
Things have changed.
Before we move away from ministry, I just want to ask this question. What has been the most difficult season in your ministry? Like, Yamakatu, this year was the worst for me. What was the most difficult season in your ministry?
Yes, it was again 2 years, 7 months. I got involved in a movement which was called Christian Alliance. And I was this chairperson. And we were looking at our country's situation, whereby there were ruling party and opposition parties. And the opposition parties were under control of the ruling party, as it were. And we wanted to create a space for the opposition to be free. So we formed the Christian Alliance. It was a movement of ministers who came together to ameliorate or to change the situation so that people can understand each other. And I got involved very much, and to the extent that I was arrested several times, and to the extent that the church had to meet in their administrative meetings, and they decided that because the government was going to the church saying the church was sponsoring me, yet the church was not sponsoring me. To say what I was saying, I was a person who wanted freedom and justice for all people. But we couldn't get that justice being done. And as a result, my involvement in the church became untenable for some time. And the church had to ask me to recuse myself. And they actually asked me to write a letter of asking for permission to be set apart so that I don't involve the church in the political situation that I was getting involved in. And I applied in 2007. And left the church in April. So for 2.5 years, I really became a minister without appointment. And that was difficult for me. But I found something to do. And there were so many things I could have done, and which I did. I got involved to an extent of being labeled an MDC person, of which I was not. I never joined any party. But I was with my friends, with this group. We became facilitators in so many issues that involved politics, to the extent that I, for one, used to stay here for 2.5 years, 2 years, 7 months. But I was working in South Africa from this house. I would go to South Africa on Monday and come back on Monday.
Oh.
Go to South Africa on Tuesday and come back on Tuesday. Go to South Africa on Wednesday and come back on Wednesday.
Oh.
And the job I was doing, I'll share with you. We were facilitating for the GNU. So I'm glad GNU came into fruition because of that group, which was never recognized, and we were not given a platform of doing what we were doing, but we managed to help the negotiations which were done right up to the end, and to have these guys work together as MDC and ZANU-PF. But we were so aligned to the opposition side, trying to convince them that this is the right way to go. And GNU came into being because we worked hard and made it possible for them to come together and agree. But our role was like clandestine. It was not, can I say, overtly shown. It was done underneath, behind the scenes. They would have their meetings and they would be there, but we are not there.
No, we understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until everything was passed and the people were given accolades, this is what they've done. But some of us were working in the background and softening these guys who were very anti. They didn't want to meet. But we tried to make them meet. We tried to make Atham Tambara meeting Morgan Trankirai and whatever.
It must have been really difficult.
I'm seeing it now. It's coming now. They are doing these things. They are saying matches and whatever. Now we are free now. We can't do nothing. We will sleep here. But then we were in the forefront. We were trying to make things work. And we managed to do it. And we succeeded. And we are happy we had a government of national unity once in our lifetime.
During that time, were you persecuted?
Yes, I was arrested. I was arrested 5 times.
During your facilitation days?
Yes. And
5 times?
5 times. And then the church now, I was no longer working for the church for 2.5 years.
You were an independent.
Yeah. So, but the intention of these guys, the government part, was not genuine and fair. They really wanted someone's life. Perhaps not me, but my colleagues, or me, but who knows? But I survived for those 2 years and 7 months. I was not working for the church. From 2007, April, to 2010. I was freelancing as it were. And then the church saw that there was no dust coming from these things. And like as it were, dust had settled. And then I was invited back. I came back in 2010 and started again lecturing at UTC. And there I was there for the next 10 years, working as a lecturer. The one whom they'd sent away,
they invited
and
back.
come back and teaching them again.
Became the corner.
Yes.
It's, you wrote a book, Doing Theology in a Society in Turmoil. It's a collection of articles from the Standard weekly newspaper. I read this book. It's very interesting, some of the articles that you were writing about. And I understand some of these actually got you into trouble again. I want to believe some of your arrests was from these articles that you were writing. Can you tell me about your thought process as you were penning these articles? I think because of time, we'll not be able to cover them all.
Yes.
But, just in general, your thought process as you were going through these articles.
It's interesting because we came to an agreement with the paper that this be published. Very exciting stories. These are about 40-something, is it 48 stories, which are short and precise and to the point. And I wrote on so many issues, including issues which would support even the president's wife. And you see, when an idea comes to a writer, and I'm a writer, so when an idea comes, you have to share with people. For instance, children are very difficult to look after these days. And children are children. Doesn't matter which family you come from. And there is an article which I wrote about the First Lady, about bringing up children.
Yes.
That, yes, I say children are children. The topic here is the bringing up children is not a stroll in the park. There was a period when Mugabe's children did some mischief in South Africa.
Yes.
And the wife went there and they created some havoc there. So I penned this article, but this article did not was not something that made me to be arrested. No.
Okay.
It was a positive on their side.
Yes.
So as a writer, when things come up, you really have to expand all the idea. For instance, is Christianity to liberate or to enslave?
To enslave, yes.
Yeah.
That's another one.
To liberate or to enslave. You see, it has come to liberate us and not to enslave us. And in that sense, that when we do our things, we must do them to satisfy us as Africans, not to satisfy Europeans. Because Europeans are Europeans, and they will never be Africans.
Yes. Same way we will never be Europeans.
We will not Europeans. So we must take our cue from that. That our understanding and their understanding are different.
Yes.
And they were different people. Different animals altogether.
Yes.
And this is why I wrote these 47 articles, which I wrote here.
There's one interesting one that I saw, that women should work for positions of power.
Yeah.
Right now, we're living in a phase where there's so much feminism being promoted, especially coming from the Western. And yet we have women who feel entitled.
Yeah.
That I can, because I'm a woman, I'm entitled to this.
But it's so, as Africans, we have never terrorized women as it were. We have been very fair in our ways, our treating the women. To the extent that we say mushamchi. Yeah. Literally, you're saying a home is made by a woman. Without a woman, there's no home, isn't it? So we respect women so much to the extent that we love them and we want them to be bosses of their own.
Yes.
And if they can also be prime ministers and presidents.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So I think I, as a writer, managed to bring that up and publish it and make it known that we are gender sensitive and we want women to be pastors and to be leaders, to be members of parliament, to be heads of department, to be ministers of defense like Opam Chinguri is now.
Yes.
And that's what we should be doing, and not suppressing them. But the Western type of emancipation is different. For instance, they would say a woman can marry a woman. The same applies to a man can marry a man. Those are extremes which the Westerners go to, as far as which is against our own norms and the teachings.
Yes.
We don't support that. But the Westerners think that way, to the extent that the churches separate or divide on those issues. Yet we are an independent church, free church, which should not be bogged down with these little things which crop up. A sin is a sin, isn't it?
Yes.
And we can't say it's big, it's huge, it's whatever. Yet we should preach the love of God and the work of Jesus, who came and died for us and liberated us. We are liberated people who have been given the freedom to act in a way that help us and help others.
Yes.
So that's my journey, brothers.
Yeah, it's a very interesting journey.
Yeah.
Just before we close, you have been resident here in Norton for quite some time. How are you seeing Norton as today as compared to the time you came here for the first time?
It has changed. Norton is becoming kind of a city. We thought it would be very inexpensive. But we are discovering that it's going to Harare way. Yes, people are developing, building their homes, and it's mostly made up of people who have come from Harare,
Yes.
and they are having their second lives here. And we have places like Norway, where you have big stands. It's a suburb on its own, and we have marshlands there, and we have these other places which have large stands, which are almost suburban, and we have our places which are not suburban, but which are townian. Yes, and we can afford some things, and others we cannot. Norton is developing to be very, very close to Harare, and that closeness is affecting us financially and so forth. But it's still quiet. It's still quiet, and we enjoy ourselves here, and we found it to be homely. And like you were commenting when you arrived, there's not much noise here. It's very quiet. So Norton is very habitable. But with all these consequences, there are drugs here. Children are affected, families are affected. And it's something which we don't like, but we've got to work towards helping those who are affected. Yeah. So we can't miss Harare. When we've left Norton, we can't miss it too.
We move. We move.
Yeah, we move with our Nortons and our Harares. So that's what I can say about it.
And any last words to our viewers?
I would want first the last words to the young ministers. Maybe I'm a minister.
Yeah.
Yes, in the church of. Yes, I want to get into ministry.
Yeah.
Do you have any words for them?
Yes.
Before you give the other whole of Zimbabwe your thought?
Ministers, yes, churches are cropping up, and preachers are also cropping up. But I can only say that one should be trained. Look for a place. There are several places where you can be trained, because there are so many things which will attract you when you are in ministry. There is money, there are people, there are men, there are women, there are boys, there are girls, there are children. And if one has an opportunity to be trained to handle these different types of personalities, the better. Because you can't just wake up and become a bishop, an evangelist, and without some training. Yes, Jesus Christ did not go to school, neither did the disciples, but they were trained by the model and trained them. So pastors should look for opportunities to study the Bible. Yes, I was just saying, ministers or whoever wants to attempt ministry should look for some kind of training. Trainings are there. There are some colleges which train interdenominationally. Just attempt to go there and do some kind of training. They will make some courses tailor-made for you to help you to understand the nitty-gritties of ministry. It's not a walk in the park. You cannot just wake up and you are an apostle. Yes, but you can graduate from the ranks lowest going up. Yes, you start with milk. Any child starts with milk and then will eat bones later. So ministry is the same way. Even in life, you have to learn the ropes of life, and sometimes you fall, sometimes you are successful, but ministry should be something to enjoy. There are challenges there, but once one is trained, they can be better and best pastors. Because I come from a tradition where we train ministers. So I can only advise people to train, even on the job. Try to learn from others what should be done, what should not be done. And once one does that, you can be self-taught and understand some of these things. And you know, the Bible has got several books in it, and sometimes they contradict each other. And that's life. There are do's and don'ts. And if we take life that way, we can succeed. You don't know it all. You are a student for life until one goes to the grave. We must be prepared to be learners. Once we do that, we can win.
And then to the general public?
We must be comfortable to be who we are. As Africans, we have a lot to learn from each other. We have a lot to learn from our past. We mustn't allow other cultures to overtake us. Wherever we go, we must be ourselves. We learn the language of that community, that area where we will go to. But if you are a family, you must also teach your children your language. They mustn't come here saying they don't know their language. Yet you have a mother and a father with you there. They must learn. And it's even much easier to teach them to learn another language, which is your language. And you are richer by learning another language. It's not something to shun. I've been listening this morning to a certain lady who comes from Jamaica and went to China and did a master's in using Chinese language and a PhD using Chinese language. And that much you are equipping yourself, you are earning a lot, not in terms of finance, but life is grooming you. You are being groomed to be a total person, a person who knows other cultures. And today we live in a global village whereby you have to offer something to other people. we are not empty as it were. We have something to offer in terms of our cultures, which we sometimes look down upon, but there are great cultures amongst Africans. And even our food, most of our food, or traditional food, are medicinal. They are healthy to eat, to have. And we mustn't think that the West is the best. No. Even in our case, even ours is also the best. Let's look at ourselves confidently and never think others are better than us. As long as we live here on earth, we have something to offer. Whether here or abroad, we are human beings created in the image of God, who loves us all. And God is very good in the sense that He looks at us as all His creation and never chooses. But only opportunities come, and once we grab them, we use them for our benefit and for the benefit of the world.
No, Dr. Kadenge.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
It's
much.
been a pleasure. Hope to see you again soon.
Okay.
To have more of this discussion. They are very, very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel there's a lot more we can cover.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
yeah, we'll definitely be coming
Yes.
back.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Oh, yes.